Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Buzzing on the Lab with the fabulous Mary Wong, where every episode she invites one of the experts from her hive to talk about their industry and to help us be better at business and life. So today we are super excited to be talking to Shivani Gupta. She is the president and CEO and founder of Fusionary Formulas, and we're really excited to talk to her because she is a wealth of information on health, wellness, Ayurveda. I always say that. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. And she's really big in talking about turmeric. So today we're going to be talking all about different spices and herbs, and really all about how to have a more holistic approach to living. And I know that Mary is very much on board with this, and she was really excited to invite Shivani onto the show. So Shivani, welcome. Thank you so much for having us. And Mary, Mary just started taking your turmeric formula, so I'll let Mary kind of jump in and talk about why it was so important for her to invite you on the show.
Right. First of all, welcome and thank you for coming. I think that the big thing for me is I saw all on Facebook, I saw all these challenges that were going on and what's everybody doing. I was like, well, what the heck? What's going on? And I unfortunately couldn't make your event that you had. So congratulations, first of all, for all these people that were so very, very engaged. But I think that really, as everybody knows, I suffer from epilepsy, and so during my whole path down this journey has been the whole piece of being able to live healthy and to be able to take natural products to be able to help along with my medication. And I've always found it very interesting to be able to look at these ingredients and what you put into your body and how well it takes care of you. And I heard you speak the other night with Wanadi and turmeric and what it does for you and that type of thing. And that knowledge base and what you have to offer to everybody, but to be able to explain that at a layman's terms so that people can understand what they're going to be using and how to utilize it, and more importantly what the impact and the outcome will be, was so, it was really thought-provoking. I think so much so, Shivani, that did you see all the posts after the event that everybody had, that they were like, wow, we're going to do this. I didn't know it. I didn't. And that is exactly why we asked you to be here today, because I think it's really about getting that knowledge out there. I think a lot of people think that they know, but they don't have a clue. And it's really an education process.
It is. It absolutely is. And I have met so many wonderful people out there. To own a company like Fusionary Formulas, I don't know if you can hear me well. To own a company like Fusionary Formulas means that so many people come to me with all their health issues. They open their hearts. They open up to me about what they're dealing with, and they're hoping that I have something that can help them. Oftentimes I do, because within Fusionary we have a lot of great formulations, but part of what I get to do is really educate people about what are the different lifestyle changes and health changes that they can make. I explain to them what Ayurveda is and how they can pull Ayurveda into their lives in a way that's meaningful. Because I myself am born here in the U.S., I do love yoga and I love Ayurveda, but I'm a modern girl. I have to find a way to fit it into my life in a bite-sized way that I'll actually do. Because if you make it overly complicated or it's 100 steps long, there's no way anybody's going to comply. So that's what I'm always out there seeking, is how do I break this down for you so that you can do it?
So let's start there. What is Ayurveda? For people watching, they're like, I don't know what this is. Like, what exactly is it?
Sure. So Ayurveda is an ancient system of medicine from India that's over 5,000 years old. So just like you have acupuncture and you have Chinese herbal medicine, and we have all these other great natural and holistic holistic medical systems, I guess you would call them. So just like you have all of those, there's Ayurveda. And under Ayurveda, you have yoga, pranayama, which is breathing techniques. You have herbology. You have lifestyle. You have a full detox system that we call Panchkarma. That's a 21-day detox that's quite intense that you can do from Ayurveda. And then we also have really a food lifestyle program, a nutrition program that you can follow. So I choose to kind of take bits and pieces out of that for people. So for example, I sent you, Kate, a dosha quiz today. Your dosha is your body's constitution. So what Ayurveda teaches is you can either be a kapha, a pitta, or a vata. And if you are one of those three types, your tendency of your body all year round, based on the seasons, will be to go out of balance or in balance with your specific dosha. And if it's out of balance for too long, that's where we start to see chronic disease come up. So my goal is really to educate people on simple, morning routines you can have, or diets that you can have with your dosha, or herbs that you can use every day in your life that can kind of transform how you feel and how you operate.
So all these different, whichever one you fall into, you're going to be on a different spices, herbs, and different plan just in general?
Yes. So for example, we have one dosha called vata. And I was recently at a retreat where I educated them on if you feel like you're a vata person. And a vata person, you can kind of be defined as thin, lightweight. They're always running around. They're always mobile, traveling. There's a lot of movement in their lives. That person will also have the negative impact of that same state of affairs in their mind as well. And so that type of person, the vata imbalances happen the most around the winter time. That's vata season. So during that season, it's important to sit there and eat grounding foods, have more cinnamon tea, have more stews, eat more root vegetables, and consistently ground yourself, even using healthy fats. So I kind of guide people on all those things, and then based on their issues, I can recommend what supplements they can take as well.
Interesting. And Mary, I sent you the quiz too, so we can figure out which we are. So do you pretty much doing this, are you able to identify which one people fall into based on just if you get to know them? Like, would you guess what Mary's is?
I have not hung out with Mary enough, so I would have to think about that one. You, Kate, I've hung out with a lot. I think you would be a pitta. It's like a very fiery, go-getter, always moving and always reaching for the stars type of personality. I learned recently that sometimes you can be born with one constitution. Actually, I knew this. You could be born with one constitution. You can evolve to another. But for me, having kids kind of flipped my constitution, and I didn't realize that. And I had one of my professors in town a couple weeks ago, and she said, you're imbalanced in this way. And I thought, oh my goodness, she's right. Okay. So it's interesting how profound, and that's why I'm not certain what Mary is. I feel like, Mary, with you had a health issue. And so you might have been one way, and now you're another. So you have to balance what's the current issue to go back to your homeostasis, your normal state, and then it'll be about balancing that.
So how do you, so I'm sure a lot of people come and they see, so I'm sure that you don't want people taking a million different supplements. So it's a matter of them to take them, and so how do you find, I know you use the profile, but so when somebody comes to you, like when we had our piece and we were talking about the turmeric, and then for me it was like I want to lose weight. So you supplement that. How do you know that this is going to go well with this, and there's no problems?
Yeah, so in my formulations, and I have the ones you're talking about right here, I have weight loss formula and I have turmeric gold. These are two of my favorites out of the products. But a lot of times people are one of those three doshas, and you should customize your lifestyle to that. When you build a supplement, though, you can incorporate all three constitutions into it. So when I did these, I made sure I didn't put anything harmful, anything that would kind of cause an issue in the body. It would really have to be a special case that the person wouldn't do well with these. But I agree with you. None of us wants to take 10 supplements a day. None of us wants to take a million things to achieve our health. And that's why it's very important to me to say, okay, look, turmeric, we have a whole spice box that we use in Indian cooking that I brought to show you guys. But turmeric is such a powerful herb. So if you use that every day, you're getting some, which is so important. And then if you take a supplement form of it, you're getting exactly what you want to get the result you want. And so that's what I kind of wanted to share with people. A lot of people don't know nowadays. We have so much scientific evidence that shows that it takes this much turmeric or this much fresh turmeric root to get this much curcumin. And curcumin is the active ingredient we're all seeking. So when we talk about these scientific studies, I have hundreds of scientific studies that show the benefits of it for Alzheimer's, for arthritis, for all those kinds of issues. And a lot of people I meet are taking their turmeric in fresh form and they're juicing it, but they're not adding any black pepper to it. So that's one thing I shared at the Wing Women event was just if you are going to take your turmeric, I brought all these props today, turmeric, then take your black pepper with it. That's what's going to help it absorb into the body better, or take it with a healthy fat. So I just wanted to share that message with people that, look, if you're going to take something, take it in a way that'll absorb in the body, whatever that is, whether it's an herb, a spice, a food. Just make sure you're doing what you need to get the full benefit.
So when you say healthy fat, you can couple turmeric with like coconut oil or avocado or like almonds, that kind of thing?
Yes, exactly. It just needs a really good healthy fat to help with its absorption because it is hard to digest.
That was so interesting. When you told me that, I was like, I had no idea. Every time I really hadn't used turmeric that much. I have it in my cabinet, but I wasn't really using it. Now it's like I feel like everyone's been talking about it, so I've been trying to incorporate it into different dishes, but I had no idea about the black pepper.
Yep.
For those people that are maybe watching that maybe they don't know, could you just give a little bit of what turmeric is and why it's so like a wow?
Yes. So turmeric, I'm doing my PhD right now in Ayurvedic studies, and my PhD dissertation is on turmeric. So all day long, I get to read about all the benefits. So it happens to be my favorite herb on the planet. But when it comes fresh, it looks like this. This is the whole jar of it. It looks like ginger root. So it really is like ginger, but ginger is something we all use in our teas, we use it in our foods, we use it all over the place. This turmeric is not as easy to steep in a tea and do things with. So that's why in Ayurveda we have not recommended doing it with this. But when you take turmeric and you dry it, it comes in powder form. This is turmeric in powder. And if you went into a Whole Foods, for example, you would buy a bottle and it looks like this. Very easy. You can buy organic or regular turmeric and use it every day in your cooking. And I've seen a lot of people who will take turmeric powder. One fun fact is mustard is yellow because of turmeric. So we are, a lot of us, getting it anyway in our diet. But if you took turmeric and you sprinkled it on your eggs, or you sprinkled it in any soup or on any meats that you're eating, you'll get a good amount of it over time. We in our Indian cooking have used this for thousands of years, every single day in our cooking. So we get it, throughout the day. But what people don't understand is that if you don't have the black pepper in there, it won't absorb well. And I'm astounded by the number of supplements I've seen. I was just on a call with someone today, and they picked up their bottle and said, oh, this has curcumin being the active ingredient from turmeric, but it had no black pepper in it. And I was shocked because, yeah, so not all supplements even do that. I was at a store here in Boca recently, and I picked up their curcumin out of curiosity, and I said, guys, this has no black pepper. Like, you need someone to eat black pepper with this thing for it to absorb, and I don't want people wasting their effort, again, taking something that's not going to benefit them. So turmeric, what we have proven now in these studies, and we have scientists out of Houston who've published hundreds of studies on it, it's a powerful anti-inflammatory, it's a powerful antioxidant, it's powerful for an immune boost, it's antiviral, antifungal. We have studies that have shown that it'll stop amyloid plaques in the brain from forming. Like, it'll stop Alzheimer's in a sense in its tracks. So there's a lot of benefits to it. I can't claim that a supplement can do all that, but I do know that in my reading, turmeric and its active ingredient curcumin can do that. And so I just wanted to share that with people because I'm surrounded by people right now who say to me, I have MS, I have this issue, I have Crohn's, I have ulcerative colitis, and it hurts me to my core that people are getting all these diagnoses, but they're not given really good solutions. So why can't we look through the herbs and spices in our cabinet and find something to heal our issues? I think that would be so much better for our bodies.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Kate.
Oh no, I was gonna ask about the absorption of other vitamins because I know that this is like a huge thing. I feel like I was taking all these supplements because everyone said I needed a probiotic and a multivitamin and all of these different things. And then I saw an acupuncturist who actually I found out does study Ayurveda, and he was telling me like, well, this season, he was talking all about the seasons, like this is storage season, so nothing's gonna be fixed. And I'm like, what the heck does that even mean? But then I showed him all of the stuff that I was taking, and he said, you can take it, but you don't need it. None of this stuff is working for you. So that is confusing too, because I mean, you go into Whole Foods or wherever, and there's just walls and walls of all these vitamins. And how do you know which ones you should be taking, or are you just wasting your money putting them into your system?
I know. I think that's a huge issue. There's a local woman, Lauren Malice, who I've been talking to about this, and how so many women approach both of us and say, you know, I'm having hormonal imbalances, I'm having these issues, I'm not feeling like myself, and how do I solve this? So I have a functional medicine doctor who she's partnering with and who I go to and recommend, who will go through and do detailed blood work on you and say, okay, well, you're so deficient in your B vitamins, for example, that you need to do this, this, and this, or your digestion is so bad, you need to do this and this if you're going to absorb anything that you take. So I think people do need to go towards a more custom form of medicine nowadays. I think people have to be advocates for themselves and really think about, okay, I don't feel good. My blood work from my regular doctor came out just fine, and he said I'm just fine. But where do we go into more detail and understand what are the vitamins and minerals I need? What food intolerances do I have? What herbal support do I need in my life daily so I can feel better? What types of foods should I be eating to feel good so I don't have to struggle every day with just feeling good?
Well, it's funny that you said that too, is because I think too, like, you know, as you get older, not even older, but as I for many years now, I've had vitamin D deficiencies, and so and they just increased it when I got my physical this year, and she said from 2,000 milligrams you need to go to 3,000 milligrams, and I said, but if I've been taking 2,000 milligrams every day, how come I have to take more? Because something that just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And it's not because I'm doing anything wrong. And she said, because Mayor, she goes, as you get older, you know, your bones and your bone density is very, very good. And that means that that's helped with the vitamin D and that part. But we want to make sure that it doesn't go past the point of where it wouldn't be good. And I think a lot of times you're doing preventative versus, you know, reactive, which is a good thing. So is there something that you guys recommend with your supplements? That vitamin D is big in a lot of women. So I don't know if that's the turmeric or is that just...
Vitamin D is something I take, and I take it at 50,000 IUs because I'm Indian and I don't go in the sun enough, and I'm super deficient. So I don't have anything that's vitamin D in my line because that's more of a Western ingredient, and I made sure my line was 100% Ayurvedic and pure in its formulation. But I agree with you, so many people are deficient in their Ds and their Bs in a lot of things that we need to take daily at different dosages, and you have to have your blood work to know what is that dosage you need to do until you hit the number you need to hit, and then you can go back into maintenance mode. Within my line, for preventive, what I recommend to people, I recommend the Elite Athlete formula a lot nowadays. The first herb in there is ashwagandha, and ashwagandha is being featured a lot in media right now for being an adaptogen. So it helps the body adapt to stress. And so many of us have any number of stresses in our day. So it'll kind of prevent those stresses from having a negative impact on the body. And then this formulation also has bala in it. It has amla. Amla is very rejuvenative. Bala is an ingredient from India that's very strengthening to the body, so it gives you that strength that you need. So that's one that I take every day, and a lot of people who I know have started taking it every day. Another one I recommend, of course, every day is turmeric gold. So turmeric gold's my favorite product out of the line. I shouldn't have favorites, but it is. And I'm just obsessed with turmeric and think everyone should take it as a preventive. I know that when I have young children, when my children aren't well, I take it. I take more of it just for an immune boost or if I'm traveling. So you can kind of use it as you need based on what's going on in the body, which is so nice. And then I know people who have cancer, Alzheimer's, all those issues in their families, they're using it very much as a preventive in their daily life. So those are the two. One I don't recommend for everyone, but everyone seems to want it, is weight loss formula. So I can't say weight loss is a preventive, but weight loss formula to me, just being from a family of doctors, it seems like if you have extra weight on the body, you're asking for a lot of chronic diseases. my family is very heavily diabetic, and every grandparent, every parent, every uncle and aunt, everyone has diabetes. Well, where does that come from? Stress, extra weight on the body, bad lifestyle habits. So for me, it was mandatory that in this life, I focus on my health and I prevent that from happening to me. And how I do that is I'm constantly working out, trying to maintain a healthy weight, maintain healthy stress levels, and being very preventive.
So, and across the line here for everything that you carry, what else do you have?
I have 3 more that I didn't talk about yet. There's inflammation relief and joint repair. These 2 are very powerful for a more arthritic patient. So anyone has joint pain, they have found a lot of relief from these 2. And then I also have my bone support. So something that a lot of us need to be taking every single day, a great calcium supplement. This one has both the Western and Eastern ingredients for a calcium supplement, and then the rest of these are all pure Ayurvedic formulations. Yeah. Part of why I did this was I found that we have been all taking a lot of supplements from the drugstore or anywhere else, and we haven't necessarily known where those ingredients are coming from or how those products were made. So in my case, I wanted a factory that was here in Florida where I could know the owner, see how my product was made, only source the highest quality ingredients. For me, everything is about integrity. So I needed to know that I was making something really pure and really beneficial that would heal people, and that's where I was coming from with this.
So can you share some examples of some ways that people can incorporate turmeric? I know you mentioned just kind of sprinkling it on stuff, but do you have like a, I don't know, like maybe like a really fun, I'm going to make some chicken and I need to marinate it, and how can I make like a really quick and easy like turmeric thing to saute it in or something beforehand?
That's a great question. So I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, maybe not that, maybe not chicken then.
So I have never cooked chicken in my life, but I cook a lot of Indian recipes. I can kind of show you. In India, this could almost be considered a medicine box. This is our, we call it a masala dhani. It's like a masala box, and masala means spices. So out of this, every single time that we cook a food, we'll use cumin seeds. Cumin seeds are so powerful for digestion. So if you were going to cook a chicken dish or lentil dish in my case, or tofu dish, you could start with a base of a little bit of oil. In our house, we use ghee, or we use coconut oil or grapeseed oil as our base. And cumin seeds are so good because then you won't have any negative digestive issues from the food. So our food has kind of been designed to help digest it. Like our spices help digest whatever food we choose to make. This is paprika or red chili powder. This is dried up cilantro that's been ground up and powdered. This is, of course, my turmeric. And what's interesting is there's salt here, but this is, and we use pink Himalayan salt in my house, but there's garam masala. So garam masala is a mix of spices, but it has black pepper. So that's where we always knew in our cooking that turmeric has to have this, and different herbs and spices have to go together. So the base of my cooking is always oil and cumin, and then we heat up tomatoes and onions, garlic, ginger. These all have such beneficial properties to the body, and then add lentils in there and cook it. So I can post a recipe later if you'd like for my favorite lentil dish. Whenever I'm doing a cleanse or whenever I want to, really we eat it every day. So if I'm doing a cleanse, I'll eat my lentils, or every day in my home, my children love it. We cook our lentils, and it's very filling, it's very warming, it's very satisfying. And I know nowadays so many people are choosing to diet and eat light salads and all that. We like to eat heartier foods in my home. So that's a way to eat a hearty dish but not get a ton of calories.
Well, yeah, you can post that for us and everything, but Kate and I will just be happy to come over for dinner, and you can just tell us when you'd like us to come.
That sounds amazing. I know, I'm getting hungry just like listening to you talk about all this stuff.
So yeah. I have to say this though, and I don't mean to be, but you have beautiful, beautiful skin. I mean, really, you have beautiful skin, and I have to believe, yes, I believe it's your, and Kate does too, and I'm 57 years old. I mean,
Mary, you look great.
I know, you really do. I really believe that when you take care of yourself, those supplements have to help you. Am I wrong about that? I understand that these aren't beauty products. I've got it.
Right.
But they have to have. I'm just coming off of the health thing for just a minute. It's just that it's a whole circle, isn't it? Of while you're doing this, of how they help everything, the insides as well as your skin and your. I look at your hair. I mean, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I think being an Indian girl, I'm blessed with great hair and great skin. I think that's part of it. We're lucky with the hair, but I do believe that it's very important to take care of your insides for the outside. Even in my Ayurvedic studies, I completed the master's degree last year, and I was astounded with how many acne and skin remedies, psoriasis, rosacea, all these issues we hear about skin diseases. It starts with the gut, and it starts with your digestion, and it starts with the inside. They never say, all right, here's a cream, put it on there, good luck. They say, okay, let's try healing your digestion first. Let's figure out where the imbalance happened with your dosha, with your constitution years ago that led to this issue. So I agree with you. And it's interesting, if you go to the mall right now, skincare products are being called broths and different things that are food related, because food is medicine, food is nutrition, food is a powerful way to heal the body. I mean, look at Raw Juice locally, a great juice company that's sitting there, or Juice Buzz, that are talking about green juice and what it can do from the inside. So I do know personally that taking my supplements has helped me. I know that in the last year I have been focused on this challenge and this transformation. We're doing the 21-day challenge in Fusionary. And before, I would go to the gym, work out, try my best, and it was fine. And right now I feel very strong. I feel my healthiest. I feel my best. I think the focus on health is so pertinent to achieve the focus you want, achieve everything that you want.
So starting at Formula, so when you started this company, what was your vision, and how long has it been that you started this?
Sure. So I started the company about 2 years ago, and Fusionary Formulas was a dream of mine. I had always wanted to make people healthy. That's really been my mission, and I wasn't sure how in this life I would get to do it. So when a team approached me and said, hey, we want to start this supplement line, we want to do something, I said, I have always wanted to make people healthy. I will always educate and share about that message. If I'm going to create a supplement, I want it to be the healthiest and purest supplement possible. And because I was doing my PhD in Ayurveda, because I was studying turmeric all the time, it was kind of a perfect fit. And it's been quite an interesting ride. I didn't expect to get this personally involved with people. Literally all the time people call me and they want to know, okay, what should I take now? Or people call me and say, Shivani, I ran out 3 days ago. You need to come to my house right now. And I said, I can't be a supplement delivery service. I need you to go through the website.
Yeah.
But it happens for my closest friends and family. They'll pop in day and night, because if they run out, they feel what happens. And that's what I tell them. Some people say, well, how am I supposed to feel a difference? I feel a little better, but I'm not sure. I say, here's a good idea. Take it for 2 weeks and then come off. And as soon as you come off, a day or two later, call me and let me know. And then I usually get my answer. So yeah. How do you target then, like, new people? Like this 21-day challenge that you came up with. How did you come up with that? Yeah. I can't believe all the people. I mean, Kate and I were like, I was like, what's the challenge thing? What are they doing? Yeah. We just wanted to inspire people to take it. A supplement is a very personal thing, and what I've learned is people going to the gym or going to yoga even, it's very personal, and you have to be ready. And I didn't realize that before, but I'm a health-obsessed person. You could tell me, Shivani, tomorrow we're going to stand on our heads and it'll change our lives. And I'll say, okay, I'll try it. I'll try anything for health. My family even makes fun of me that if a medicine had the word support on it, I would take it. But because it's a medicine, I won't take it. So I'm one of those people where anything alternative, I love to try. So the 21-day challenge really came out of the notion of how do we get people to even consistently do anything, whether that's a workout, whether that's meditating 5 minutes a day, which is part of our challenge, or taking their supplement daily. Because I find a lot of people will buy something, but they won't remember to take it every day. Or they won't honor that this is important to them. They'll put everyone else first, everything else first. I know a lot of moms out there who say, you know what, I wanted to do it, but I forgot, and I give my kids their vitamins first. So the 21-day challenge was just a way to inspire them, because I had collected about $1,600 in prizes to give them. And
wow.
So we just wanted people to try to do something for 21 days. And I have learned a lot from this because even myself, it was hard to do something every day. I remember one night at 10 o'clock, I hadn't posted, and I said, Shivani, you're supposed to lead this challenge. Get on a treadmill, do something, get your workout in. So I get it now, and I sympathize a lot more with my patients and with people now that I understand that consistency is hard, but the light at the end of the tunnel is how you feel. And I personally have changed my workout, I've changed my training, I've changed my diet on this challenge, and I feel incredible. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do 60 days, 90 days, however long I can. Like, you'll see a new Shivani by December. That's my plan.
Love it. Love it. And so I have a question about consistency, because I think I see this in a lot of people who want to live a more holistic lifestyle or who want to be really healthy. And I think that sometimes it gets to the place of, I'm doing it, but then I mess up, and then forget it. I'll just start over tomorrow or the next day. And then they feel like if they mess up one day, then it doesn't really count. So when you're trying to be more holistic, I mean, let's talk about balance. And are you still getting benefits if you're not necessarily going overboard and eating only live green all the time, and you're still kind of like how does that work? I'm always curious about that, because I know some people are super all in and some are kind of like just dabbling.
Yeah, I think it's personal to everyone, and I think oftentimes we have to lead by inspiration. And I know, Kate, I told you this before my summit event that we had. I said, you're working out every day at 5:30 in the morning. That's incredible. I could never do that. And now I'm working out really hard every single day. And literally the high I get, the energy I feel on the days I work out, I feel like I could literally carry the world. I feel so good on these days. And you ask me, on Wednesdays I take one day off from my workouts, and I don't feel so awesome. So I have to find a way to do yoga or cardio or something in there to feel good. For me, I'm a 100% perfectionist. So I don't do anything until it's perfect. The formulas, it took me forever to get these just right for the people the way I wanted it. So I think what we have to do is we have to let go of perfection and say, how can I, in a week, take a week? People take months and long periods of time. I literally take a week and say, how is my week going to be awesome? And I'll sprinkle in little things. My children are 2 and 5, so it's nearly impossible to say I come first and everything for me happens first. But doing the challenge, I decided, you know what, I have to lead this thing, so let me figure out what that plan is. So I joined a gym. I committed. I decided that I'm going to eat more fruits and vegetables and alkalize more, but I didn't put pressure on myself. I didn't say it has to be 100% organic, or it has to be all fresh made at home, or it has to always have turmeric or Indian spices. If you leave it open but make a game plan, and as long as every single day you do something off that list, I think that's pretty powerful. I think the problem is we strive for perfection. We strive for these perfect bodies, perfect minds, perfect achievements, perfect goals. And that stress alone can have a negative impact on the body. Just doing my degree and just interviewing so many practitioners, so many of them said, you know what, I don't ever tell a patient to do 100 things. The stress I will cause them to try to comply with that list is worse than them not doing the list.
Oh, I love that. And I just have to share this because I was telling Mary, I started watching the Tony Robbins documentary on Netflix, and one of the things that he said to this young kid who was just suffering and was suicidal, this statement was so powerful. He said, we tend to overestimate what we can get done in a year and underestimate what we can get done in a lifetime. And I feel like that is so powerful, especially to a lot of the wing women and the women in Mary's Hive, because we're all very driven, type A, go-getter type personalities who believe that we can change the world, and we want to do it like that instead of a slow process and enjoying the journey. And Mary is so good at this. I mean, she talks about this all the time, and we have conversations and try to help remind each other to take a step back and appreciate where you are and the journey. But it's the same goes for your health and your well-being. So I love that you said that, because I think it's perfect. And that just stood out so much to me when he said that from someone like Tony.
Well, you know, Shivani and Kate knows this. For me, you know, there was a point that it was always like I was always, I'll be honest, I was always depressed because I would always be like, I fought the weight piece because of the medicine I took. And so they put me on a new medicine, and the weight would go down, and then you go up. It's not that I ate horribly. It was that you have repercussions and after effects of the medication. That's just the bottom line. I mean, so I came to come to the fact that how I am and what you see is what you got. And you love what you got, right? But there's always room for improvement. And I like working out. I like all of those things. And I want to go do that. And if I can get better and look better and feel better, it's for me, not for anybody else, and for me. I think a lot of people make the mistake, and for those watching, yes, I'm speaking to you, because you do it for yourself first and foremost. Because I told people I joined Orange Theory, and they're like, "Oh, but Mary, you're going to be against this group. You're going to be doing." I said, "I'm doing it for myself." And when I do it for myself, that's all and what I can do is what I can do. And I'll be proud of myself for, first of all, going and making the commitment to go. And then after that, I'll go past that. But the other day, I mean, I was so motivated after we got done, after you and Wanity talked, and I met my friends from Juice Buzz and all that stuff. You know, I've always, because of the medication, sleeping and caffeine and all that stuff has always just been, so just to come off a Diet Coke, it's a slow process for me. But I started with that. I started taking your supplements, and it's a lot of stuff at once. But like you said, you have to be happy with yourself first. So I think it's that whole head game thing of why are you doing this? Because if you're going in for instantaneous results, this is a lifetime commitment. This is not something that you're going to be doing for like, I want to fit into a dress, or I want to fit into a pair of jeans today. This is a lifetime commitment of wellness, because I want to be around to see everybody's successes. I don't want to be sick, and or I just want to feel real. You know, I want to feel the best I can possibly feel, and you're not going to feel that way if you don't find out. And there's so many good things out there that are really good for you that I just didn't even know. We had so much fun going shopping and getting, you know, alternative items rather than butter and all that stuff. That, you know, it makes you feel so much better. Kate was over yesterday, and I'm like, look at all my healthy things you can pick from, and she actually ate some of that stuff.
I know, I was so excited. Well, you know, it's so interesting to me because I feel like it's everything you put in your body. When people say to me, "Oh, you work out so much," and I love hearing when people are like, "Oh, I hated seeing all your posts that you're going to the gym, but then it kind of inspired me to go, and I'm feeling so good." And they sound so shocked about it, and they feel shocked when they start eating well, and it's fun. It's just funny to me. I'm like, of course you do. That is the point. And now you're just gonna be addicted to it, just like I am, because you just feel so amazing. And then being able to incorporate the supplements that help, because that's a piece that, you know, it's important to incorporate that piece too. And so,
Shivani, don't laugh at me, because at some point down the line, as you start to grow bigger, I want you to create a pet line.
I have heard that so many times.
I'm being very serious, because
I had a veterinarian call me and ask me, and I was
I'm serious.
I'll consider it. Yes, because curcumin, I'm still holding this, curcumin is known to help with inflammation, and so it can even help with pets or their arthritis or all their issues.
I'd be so far in, because as your dogs get older, they suffer so much, and that surgery can be so expensive.
Right.
And so, even all those things, they suffer from the same things. So I would be it's all natural.
Yes,
so
yes.
You can't hurt them. So
yeah,
it's like,
I've heard this a lot.
Yeah, that could be your next PhD, DDD.
Yeah, I mean, it would not be hard for me to actually do that, because a lot of what we are putting into ourselves, we know now, is so beneficial for pets.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
So I'm your biggest advocate.
sounds good. Yeah, and speaking to what you guys were talking about, I find a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves. Well, it has to be organic. It has to be this. And what I tell them is, look, we cook with love in our home. We feed everyone with love. Like, people love coming here to my home and eating because we literally have Indian food ready every single day, all the time here to eat. And I think it's about building rituals into your daily life that are cues for yourself to be healthy. So I do wake up and I quickly get the kids ready for school and we're ready. But then I stop and I take 3 minutes and I make sure I have a light breakfast before my workout. I took my water to hydrate for the day. I took all my supplements so I'm powered and ready for my workout or my day. I make sure that even if it's running out the door and carrying it, I have what I need to take care of myself. And that's my cue that, okay, today, Shivani, we're going to take care of ourselves all the way through. And I'll always stop somewhere mid-morning, even if it's Starbucks, and I'll have my green tea in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. Right around now is my tea time, so I'll have another green tea. I get a little bit of caffeine out of it, but I get all the benefits as well. So I think it's really about what are those things that really matter to you, that make you feel in your mind that you're doing good for yourself, where you're filling your heart. And taking care of your health is an easy way to do self-care. There's also so many others. So in Ayurveda, we teach about, wake up and just do some yoga stretches. It doesn't have to be yoga class for an hour at a place. Although I love those places, I don't always have the time for that. So how do you wake up, put a towel down in your bedroom, and just do a couple stretches and open the body up? Or do a few breathing techniques to oxygenate the body, oxygenate the brain. Or lately I have started doing abhyang massage, which just means body massage to yourself. It doesn't have to be that you go to a massage therapist and get all of that done for an hour, although that's lovely. How do you just sit down on your own floor and massage coconut oil or sesame oil all the way in between your toes? If you do that once or twice a week and take a shower after, your skin, your hair, everything will feel so good, and your body will feel nurtured, and you will feel nurtured. And I think those building blocks are how we get to that place of consistency, because it has to feel good. If I worked out every day and it was torture and I didn't get this happy high from it, if I ate healthy but didn't see the results, if I massaged my whole body but didn't feel more relaxed and more in tune with myself, I wouldn't continue, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of cumulatively do all these things and add that variety in so that you can continue with it and feel the benefit.
Wow. Well, we're going to have to do that, Kate.
I know, right? I was like...
I'm so into that. We'll do that.
It's part of why we have great hair, actually, in India. Head oil massage is a pretty big deal, and right now it's the summertime, so it's very cooling. So outside it's burning hot, but if you did a head oil massage today and you really massaged the oil all throughout your hair and then left it for a little bit and then washed it out, your hair would be so much healthier.
I actually have a friend of mine is from India, and they gave me a doshe head oil that they put in, and you leave it, and you wrap your, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, so if somebody is interested, you said your patients, so if they're interested in working with you, because this is a lot to absorb, I think. It's just a lot. So we sit and we're goofing around a little bit, but ultimately, if somebody's being, I do want to incorporate this into my life, and I'm going to take the quiz, and I take the quiz, and I want to be able to incorporate this, and then I'm going to go work out. You have a lot that you're making a huge change in your life pattern, right? So what do you do exactly then? Do you take them on, or what do you coach with them? How does that work?
Yes. So I am an Ayurvedic practitioner. I have not taken too many patients on just because to launch Fusionary and get the word out about this is quite an undertaking. But what's beautiful is I have a team in place, and we have so much beautiful things happening with Fusionary right now. And part of what really fills me is to work with people and individually see how this benefits them. So lately, since I did the retreats in Jacksonville and different places, I have been booking Ayurvedic practitioner times with people. So people can set a time with me. We can do a 30-minute call and understand what their dosha is, what their imbalances are. to go deep into their disease and everything, a true Ayurvedic doctor would sit down with you and say, okay, what are all your diseases? Let's go into this for an hour and a half, and then you see them for 6 weeks. In my case, I'm not getting that in deep with people with all their diseases, but I am happy to coach them on what are these lifestyle changes you can make and how can you feel those benefits and feel those differences. Because I do find that once you know your dosha and you start living according to it, huge changes will start to happen. Soon enough, people start buying books on Ayurveda. They're like, what's the book? Just tell me the book. I need to read it. I need to go deeper. I need to understand. So it's really great to me and very fulfilling to get to educate people in those sessions.
And not kidding, no kidding aside, I mean, seriously, hearing you talk about food and the love of food and how you incorporate it with your spices and the food, no kidding aside, I know that you're, from young age, you're taught how to cook. Some of us are not that lucky. So is there a cookbook that you recommend, or are there recipes that you recommend, or how do you learn how to do that? Because you get all these great seasonings. When I went to the shopping and there's like, oh, just throw this on and throw that. I go, yeah, right, okay, sure, no problem. So, but you don't know all that stuff until you know it. So when you're talking about cumin seeds and you're talking about all that stuff, how do you go about doing that?
That's a great question. So I actually didn't learn how to cook until a week before I got married. My parents were like, oh my God, she's an Indian girl and she doesn't know how to cook. This is a problem. And I had a crash course because in our culture you should know how to cook, and I just didn't. I had never taken an interest. I had always wanted to be an entrepreneur and a social entrepreneur, and I was so focused on that, cooking didn't matter to me. I was also young, and so you have no health issues when you're college, pre-college, all those times, but soon after you realize that you can't eat everything you want. I'm actually writing a cookbook right now called Turmeric Inside and Out, because I'm so obsessed with turmeric, and I really want people to understand all the facials and masks you can do with it, and then all the ways you can cook with it. But I think Juana D and I should just get together and record some recipes together for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we should, you know what you should do? We're doing our, Mary, we need to do a turmeric facial at our sleepover.
Yes, we're in.
That would be awesome. I did one the other day. I haven't shared the picture, but it was quite funny.
We're in. Count it in. I think you are just on the threshold of something totally magnificent, Shivani, and we're so honored and so pleased to be a part of this with you. And however we can help carry the message across, let us help you. So I hope that after your 21-day challenge is finished, let's do maybe we'll have to have a brainstorming piece, but let's do make a difference to yourself or something, and we'll do it as we'll make it a 30-day one. So that they have to do it for 30 days. Awesome. But I think if we can help in any way to help you, I think you're a gift, and thank you so much for sharing all this with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time to share it. I love just teaching people about the benefits of the herbs. I love that people are getting inspired right now to eat healthier and work out and feel better and incorporating yoga. So thank you. This was so lovely.
I feel like you need to get more passionate about what you do. It's not like exuberating and shining through.
So if they want to get your, if they want to buy your supplements, how do they go about doing that?
So Fusionary is on fusionaryformulas.com on our website. It's FUSIONARY formulas.com. And then it's carried by a number of orthopedic surgeons and chiropractors all around the country. I have doctors in California, New York, Texas, here, all over who are carrying it. And they call me all the time and they say, what do I tell this patient? And how, I saw this patient have this result. So it's really fun right now. But it is carried in a number of doctors' offices or the website.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next time on Buzzing on Blab.
Thank you. Bye, Shivani. Bye, Kate.
Bye, guys.